Hello everyone, this is Jonathan Green. I'm here recording my week 7 assignment for FTE 217. Today is October 19th, 2025. To start, reflecting upon guidance you've received in lectures, you will demonstrate your knowledge of performing trigger work by responding to. You will analyze trigger work as necessary or should be performed when it should not be performed. So, trigger work should be performed in situations where parts become damaged, worn down. If you notice the trigger pull is feeling kind of loose or extremely tight, or um, or maybe the hammer or the hammer spring, something along that lines, trigger spring, something is not working like it should. It's not functioning like it should. Um, we should not perform it as if firearms functioning properly. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, if you don't have the parts to replace the parts that you need. Problems that can occur when improper trigger work has been performed. You could have failure to fire. You could have essentially what we call click and no bang. So you pull the trigger, you hear a click, but nothing happens. Or in some cases, you could have instances where you pull the trigger and it shoots multiple times for one squeeze, which makes it a machine gun and is a felony unless the proper channels are gone through. Um, what constitutes improper trigger work and how can it be avoided? So improper trigger work is like using parts you're not supposed to, using springs you're not supposed to, improvising, stuff like that. Like improper trigger work it's kind of a broad spectrum, but that kind of what covers it. Detailed inspection. So first and foremost, I have my AR-10 here from the build kit. I'm going to pop this open. You can look and see there's no magazine and there's no round in the chamber. You can kind of see the chamber in there. No round in the chamber. We will release this. Okay, so proper inspection of trigger, right? Right now, safety is on. I'm pulling the trigger. Nothing happens. If I pop the safety off, if I pull the trigger, pulling, click, and pull the trigger again. We should charge it. Now if I release, you'll hear a click for it resetting. Click, and it'll be charged and ready to go again. So the trigger is functioning properly. It's got kind of a stiff pull weight to it, but with this being a higher caliber AR, that's to be expected. I wouldn't expect there to be a lighter trigger pull weight for it. Part 3, check the safety systems disconnector operating in your firearm. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to disassemble my AR with the takedown pins. Okay, so now we have just the lower. It's kind of oily because I was cleaning it. You can see there is our hammer. And then kind of the same thing that I just did earlier. So we would attempt to squeeze the trigger. You can see the hammer is retracting down. When we do that, obviously safety's on, so nothing's going to happen. Now if I release or pull the trigger, okay, hammer released. And actually in here you can see the disconnect right here. And it just kind of sits in there, and if I cock this back again, okay, so hammer is pulled, or hammer is cocked as if it was cocked and ready to go. Pull, release, and it should click. Yep. That's the disconnect clicking with the hammer to show that it's catching it as it should. See, hammer is cocked when I'm pulling on it, but nothing's happening. And then release, and hammer clicks forward. So that's the disconnect doing its thing. Part 4, articulate what you believe are the easiest, most difficult parts of making repairs and alterations to the AR platform. So I said it before in a previous video, I believe. I do believe fire control group and bolt carrier group would be the hardest parts, mainly just because there's a ton of smaller parts involved with it. So it's not just one big part that has to fit into the AR with a pin or a bolt or something like that. It's a ton of smaller pins and bolts and springs, and everything has to lock into each other, and there's very particular ways things need to be done. So fire control group, so the trigger, hammer, this group right here, and bolt carrier group would be the hardest parts.